are heat and cold, temperature, measurement of temperature, thermometer, heat transfer where we'll talk about conduction, convection and radiation, clothes in summer and winter. So we are going to learn about heat. I'm sure all of you are aware of the literal meaning of heat. Now, from where do we start discussing it? Let's think of the situation when somebody is down with fever. If sometimes you also fall ill, you also have fever. What happens when you are down with fever? When you touch your body, you feel that your body is quite hot than normal, right? So, how do you know that your body is hot? How do you feel that your body is hot? When you touch your body, you can sense that it is hot. How do you feel when you touch a hot cup of coffee or hot cup of milk or a hot cup of tea? So as soon as you touch it, if it is extremely hot, sometimes it also happens that you try to grab it because you want to drink it desperately. But since it is so hot, you immediately take your hand back. Why? Because of that hotness, you could feel, you could sense the heat which is coming out of that cup of coffee. On the contrary, what happens when you touch an ice cream? Do you feel hot? No. But do you feel comfortable touching the ice cream directly with both your palms? Not really. In that case also you take your hand back because the ice cream is too cold. It is freezing. During winters, what happens? During winters, do you think that your body is very hot? Not really. So until and unless you wear proper woolen clothes or you cover yourself up with a blanket, then you become warm. But otherwise, you can actually feel that your body is getting cold. Why? Because it is all very cool in the surrounding. So this difference, why does this difference arise between a hot cup of coffee and an ice cream? And where is the difference? The difference is in the hotness. Something is very hot, something is less hot, something is very cold. So in this lesson, we are going to talk about this heat and cold. What causes substances to be hot? What causes them to be cold? How do we measure their hotness or coldness? Now, these were the two extreme situations. In the first situation, it is very hot. In the second situation, it is very cold. Now, if you try to compare it with a situation which is like the normal situation, like when you are healthy, you are neither suffering from fever nor it is very cold. So, in that case, your body temperature is normal. That is, it is neither very hot nor very cold. So, that means your body temperature or your body can be hot. Your body can be hotter, your body can be cold, your body can be very cold. So you see the range of hotness can be different. Again, in a similar way, if you have a glass of plain water which is just kept on the table at room temperature, it was neither kept in the refrigerator nor it is like very hot. So in that case, the temperature again is neither very hot nor too cold. So what we have to analyze in this lesson is how do we describe how hot or how cold an object is. Because if I say that this cup of coffee is what we call as hot. So now I would say this ice cream is what we call as cold. Then what will we call this glass of water? So how do we describe which particular object is how much hot and which particular object is how much cold? So how hot or cold an object is? So that is the next question. So if you compare these three things, the hot coffee cup, the glass of water at room temperature and the ice cream, how can we precisely tell the hotness of each? Now, we might say in a random way, we might say that this cup of coffee is the hottest and the ice cream is the coldest. And this glass of water is intermediate between the two. Now, does that mean that these are the only three things which define hotness of an object? So let us assume that we say that okay, this is the hottest of the three, this is the coldest of the three, and this is like intermediate. This is neither as hot as the cup of coffee nor as cold as the ice cream. Now what if I introduce a vessel with boiling water? So this vessel, that the temperature of this vessel is even more than that of this cup of coffee. So it is even hotter than what we had earlier described as hottest. So now how do we describe the hotness of this vessel containing boiling hot water? Because now it is even hotter than this cup of coffee. Correct? So the question is, how do we deal with such situations? Because there is no specific limit of how hot an object can be or how cold an object can be. So how do we measure the hotness or the coldness of an object? So let us take a general situation which happens to us in day-to-day life, and in that case we actually try to measure the hotness of the object. Let's say that we are down with fever, and normally what happens when you are down with fever? Normally, like if it has been a couple of hours that your body is getting hot, so as soon as your mom touches your body, she can feel that the body is hot, so she can sense that you are having fever. But how will she know it's precisely that how hot is your body? So for that purpose, what does she do? She makes use of a thermometer. So she takes a thermometer, she places it inside your mouth, just below your tongue, keeps it there for some time, and then she measures your temperature. So thermometer is a device which helps to measure how hot your body is. So what does this thermometer measure? The thermometer measures how hot the body is. Now, if you try to measure the hotness of your body when you are not ill, when you are healthy, so what do you see that time? That time the temperature of the body is less. So in this case, in a normal situation, the temperature is less. But when you are suffering from fever, the temperature is more. So basically, what is the thermometer doing? Thermometer is trying to measure how hot your body is. Now, you would have often heard your mom saying that, okay, he has a fever of 101 degree or 102 degree or 103 degree. So the more the temperature is, so the more severe it is, so the more fever you have. But when it is like normal, so that time how much the temperature would be? Somewhere around 98 degrees, right? So what is this 98 degree, 100 degree, 101 degree? What are these? These are temperatures. And what is temperature? Temperature is something that is being measured by this thermometer. So this is how your thermometer looks like. And what is it measuring? It is measuring nothing but temperature. So now we are going to talk about temperature, because temperature is something which actually tells us how hot an object is. Measure of hotness or coldness of an object. So this temperature can precisely tell us how hot an object is. So like in case of body temperatures, we were talking in terms of degrees, 100 degree, 98 degree. So if it is 100 degree, it is like more hot than something which is at 98 degree. So using the values of temperature, we can actually decide which object is how much hot and which object is how much cold. So now let us take the same example when we discuss about temperature. So the thermometer measures your temperature, which might come around 101 degrees when you are having fever, but it will be somewhere around 98 degree when you are normal, when you do not have any fever. Now since this value is greater than this value, so we say that this object or this person is hotter than this person. So that's how the concept of temperature works. So it works not only with human beings but with various objects. Now we can use the same concept of temperature to measure how hot the cup of coffee was and how hot the pan containing boiling water was. So using this, you can also say that if you compare a hot cup of coffee and a bottle of cold drink, so which one is hotter? So the cup of coffee is hotter. That means the temperature of this cup of coffee will be more. So the temperature of this cup of coffee will be more and the temperature of this bottle of cold drink will be less. So let us see, how do we measure temperatures of various objects? Now, when you compare the same examples where you have boiling water, where you have a hot coffee cup, you have a glass of water, you have ice cream. So if you now try comparing this, so relatively we can say which object is more hot and which object is less hot. For example, we can say that this cup of coffee is hot, so it has got higher temperature, right? So we can say that the temperature of this glass of water is going to be less than the temperature of this hot cup of coffee. So let us say the temperature of this glass of water is T2. Let us say the temperature of this cup of coffee is T1. Temperature of the ice cream is T3. Temperature of the pan containing boiling water is T4. So just to tell you that how we say that relatively which object is hotter than the other object. So in this case, you can say that T4 is greater than T1 because this temperature it is more hot. So T4 is greater than T1, which is greater than T2, and T2 is greater than T3. So this is how, knowing the temperature, we can actually tell the hotness or coldness of an object. Now if you talk about a burning candle, so this flame of the candle, it is going to be extremely hot. Correct? So this candle is going to be even hotter than this. So if it is T5, then we will say that T5 is even greater than T4. Similarly, if you try to compare the temperatures at night and during the day, so what do you find? The temperature at night, so if the temperature at night is denoted by Tn and temperature during the day is Td, then you can say that temperature during the day is more than temperature at night. That is why nights are cooler as compared to days. So this is how, if you know the temperature, you can actually measure the hotness or coldness of objects. Now the question is, how do we measure temperature? How exactly do we do that? So how do we measure temperature? Now we already saw that we make use of thermometer when we fall ill. So thermometer helps to measure our body temperature. Not only body temperature, we have different types of thermometer to measure the temperatures of different objects. Now, if you have ever heard your mom or other people talking about the temperature of body, when they measure it using a thermometer, what do you get to know? That okay, when the normal temperature of your body, when you are not having any fever, it is somewhere around 98 degrees. When you are down with fever, that times the temperature rises up to say 101 degrees or 102 degrees or even 103 or 104 degrees as well. So that's how the temperature is when you are having fever. Now, if you see your textbooks or if you have seen it in somewhere written in the newspaper or something, that the temperature of boiling water is around 100 degrees. Now, if you compare these values, what do you see? That the temperature of our body when we have fever is more than the temperature of boiling water. Isn't that absurd? Because when water boils, the pan becomes so hot that we are not even able to touch it with our hands, right? We immediately take our hand back. And if we try to touch it, we might even burn our fingers. So it is that hot. Now, if I say the temperature of our body is even hotter than that, does that mean that when we have fever, so our body is becoming that hot that nobody else can touch our body? If somebody else tries to touch us, he or she will get burnt? Not really, right? Even though our body becomes hot when we are down with fever, but it doesn't become that hot as well. So where is the gap? So why do people say that the person or the boy has 101 degree fever, 102 degree fever, and also why do they say that the temperature of boiling water is 100 degrees? So then both the values are same. So where is the gap? So the confusion lies in the fact that there are different scales to measure temperature, like how you have different units to measure distance. For example, if I tell you 10 meters and if I tell you 10 kilometers, so there is a huge difference between the two, because 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So if I say that somebody has traveled 10 meters and somebody has traveled 10 kilometers, even though the values are same, but the units are different. So actually the actual amount is a lot different, because 10 meters is 10 meters, but 10 kilometers is 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So basically this is 10,000 meters. So there is a huge difference between these two. Now why do we have this difference between because they are expressed in different units. So in a similar way, to measure temperature also, there are different scales which exist. Now when we talk about the scales which are used to measure temperature, normally there are three scales which are used: Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. Now if I explain or if I describe it in more detail, so the temperature of boiling water is measured in the Celsius scale, that is, it is 100 degrees Celsius. But when we are talking about our body temperatures, it is in the Fahrenheit scale. So that is why this temperature is 101 degree Fahrenheit, which is a lot less than that of the Celsius scale. So therefore there exists a lot of different scales in which the temperature can be measured. Scales of temperature, or how do we, what is the common basis on which we have divided these different scales of temperature? So there are two fixed reference points for measuring temperature, and those 2 points are ice point and steam point. So what is ice point? So ice point is nothing but the freezing point of water. It is that temperature at which water starts to freeze. That is, what happens when water freezes? Water freezes to form ice. And what happens when water boils? It boils to form water vapor. Right? So this is ice. And this is water vapor. And this is water. Right? So ice point is nothing but the freezing point of water. So it is the point at which water gets converted into ice. And when we talk about steam point, it is the boiling point of pure water. That is, it is that temperature at which water starts getting converted into water vapor. Now in all the three scales, we have determined the ice point and the steam point. So every scale, for example, in Celsius scale, we will have a fixed ice point and a fixed steam point. Similarly, in the Fahrenheit scale, we will have a fixed ice point and a fixed steam point. And that is how we will be able to find out a relation between the various scales of temperature. Like when we talk about meters, kilometers for distance. So there is a relationship that exists between meter and kilometer also. Only then we will be able to understand how much is 10 kilometers. So how did we say that 10 kilometer is 10,000 meters? Because we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So that relation had to be established between the different scales of temperature also. So for that we take these two reference points, that is ice point and steam point. So let us look at the various scales of temperature which we will be discussing right now. So the first one is the Celsius scale, which was also known as the centigrade scale. So centigrade and Celsius, they refers to the same scale. So this is often denoted as degree Celsius. This is how we denote it. The next one is Fahrenheit scale, which is denoted by F, and it was named after the scientist Fahrenheit who described it for the first time. So Celsius scale. So Celsius was named after the Swedish astronomer Celsius, who discovered it for the first time. So in this scale, the ice point is at 0 degree and the steam point is at 100 degree Celsius. So you see, this is the ice point and this is the steam point. So in between these, you have the various temperatures. So as I said, ice point and steam point, they are the two reference points for all the scales of temperature. So let us look at the Fahrenheit scale. So this Celsius scale is also called centigrade scale. That is why we measure temperature. We often read this 30 degree as 30 degree Celsius or 30 degree centigrade. So they both mean the same. The next one is Fahrenheit scale. Here the ice point is 32 degree Fahrenheit and the steam point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So that means a 0 degree Celsius is equivalent to a 32 degree Fahrenheit, because the temperature at which water starts to freeze, that is the ice point. So that temperature in Celsius scale is 0 degree, and the same temperature in Fahrenheit scale is 32 degrees. So that's how the Celsius and the Fahrenheit scale gets related to each other. So it was named after Fahrenheit, who had proposed this scale. So it is denoted by a degree F followed by F, which denotes Fahrenheit. So let us quickly look at the relationship between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So if you try to compare the two scales, you will see that 100 degrees Celsius is equivalent to a 212 degree Fahrenheit, and a 0 degree Celsius is equivalent to a 32 degree Fahrenheit, because this denotes the steam point and this temperature denotes the ice point. So if you want to convert any temperature in Celsius to a temperature in Fahrenheit, so how do you do that? So there exists a relationship between Celsius and Fahrenheit, that is Tc by 5 is equal to Tf minus 32 by 9. So we will not get into the derivation right now, but so you can just have a look at this formula. So this Tc is nothing but the temperature in Celsius scale, and Tf is nothing but the temperature in Fahrenheit scale. So let us suppose if you take an example of a temperature which is 20 degrees Celsius. So basically Tc is equal to 20 degree Celsius. So let us see how much it would be in the Fahrenheit scale. So in the picture you can see that it is 68 degree Fahrenheit, but let's try to calculate it using this formula. So the formula becomes 20 by 5 is equal to Tf minus 32 by 9. So this will be 5 4s are 20. So this is Tf is equal to 36 plus 32. So this is equal to 68 degree Fahrenheit. So therefore we can say that a 20 degree Celsius is equivalent to a 68 degree Fahrenheit. Similarly, we can convert the Fahrenheit scale values into Celsius scale also. So for example, let us see the ice point. So how much is the ice point on a Celsius scale? So on a Celsius scale it is 0 degree Celsius. So if we put this value of 0 in this equation, so what do we get? We get 0 is equal to Tf minus 32 by 9. So this becomes equal to Tf is equal to 32 degree Fahrenheit. So basically the ice point on Fahrenheit scale should be equal to 32 degree Fahrenheit. So similarly you can do it for the steam point as well, right? Now let us talk about our body temperatures, because we have been taking examples of our body temperatures, that when we are healthy, for a healthy person the normal body temperature is somewhere around 98 degree, approximately 98 degree, and this is in Fahrenheit. So let us see how much is the normal body temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit scale. So in Celsius scale the normal body temperature in Celsius scale is 37 degree Celsius. So again, if you put these values in the equation, Tc by 5 is equal to Tf minus 32 by 9. So using this, you see that 66.6 is equal to Tf minus 32, or we can say that Tf is equal to 66.6 plus 32. So this is equal to 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So this is the normal temperature of human body in Fahrenheit scale. So now you understand when we say that the temperature of boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius. Correct? So for boiling water, the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. And for our human body, the temperature is 98 degree Fahrenheit. So 98 degree Fahrenheit is basically 37 degrees Celsius, which is a lot less than that of the boiling water. That is why our body is not even comparable in hotness when compared to the boiling water pan.